What's up, H-Town and all around? I'm OSG. You got the dynamic Foxtrot right there, and this is the Dash Dispatch. It's been a minute. Hello? How y'all doing? Andreas, hello. How you doing?
It feels like forever, man.
Yeah, it's okay.
It,
I mean,
it's
it's like the international
yeah.
break, right?
It's supposed to be a break, but it still feels like it's been 2 years.
Yeah. Well, we got a little bit of an interesting. We're going to go back and review the game from Bay against Bay. That was 2 weeks ago. We'll check in on the standings during this break real quick. We have some international duty. We'll just talk about those players that get credit. Then we've got some things going on in Orlando Saturday at 6 o'clock in Orlando. So that one's going to
Yeah.
be a big one for us. You obviously have some Diana Ordoñez news to talk about today. And then the last segment of the show, the last segment of the show. So, if you want to skip to the end, you can find it in the end, but hit that like button on the way to the end if you don't mind. We're going to talk about some dash targets. The summer window will be upon us soon, and we just kind of want to stir some rumors, maybe get some interest, maybe hit one on the nose. I don't know, but we'll talk about it. But Andreas, brother, you ready to get into the show and talk a little Houston Dash and go beyond?
Always. Always
All
go
right,
beyond, man.
always, always, always. You get a little wave in on the flag right there. But all right, guys. Well, as we said, it's been a minute, so we'll just make it quick. So we just don't gotta get their blood pressure rising and too much. But we hosted Bay FC a while back. Ended up tying 2-2. You were up one nothing at halftime. Gave up two ugly friggin' goals where defense was just a shit show. Embarrassing. Gave up two goals, and then luckily Messiah Wright was able to get one back, where she actually earned the goal. She took on the defender. Wasn't a very good hard shot, but it was what she needed to do. She put it in the corners, past the keeper, 2-2, saves our butts. We almost score in extra time. They steal the game, cause Bay was the better team, but 2-2, man, Avery with a banger, copying Griffin Dorsey, and I'm not going to say copying Griffin Dorsey. I'm going to say Houston to Houston, just doing bangers right there with left foots from the same spot. So that's a popular spot, man. But, what did you think about that game against Bay? I know it was a little bit disappointing. It's up and down. Bay was the better team. Stat wise, more shots, put us on the back. And I've got a defender I guess we need to talk about.
Honestly, I'll definitely say that the most disappointing thing when it comes to the dash, especially if you're having a lot of fun, get ready to be disappointed because this was the game itself. Like after that banger of a first goal, Houston was just like looking pretty decent, and as a not natural or really any normal Dash fan would be afraid of the scoreline because anything can happen at any point, and it kind of happened here that night where they just happened to concede two goals in the span of 3 minutes. And that's what I'm saying. We're not allowed to have fun because you can just celebrate as much as you want the quality of the goal and the quality of the play, but it's just like there's never any progress, or at least it feels like it from the surface level. And going back to Messiah Bright's equalizer, and by the way, both goals start with Barb, so shout out to Barb always. Uh, it was a pretty good play, a great pass, like a great setup by Barb to send Messiah Bright all the way from the flank and just make a run for it, like from the flank to the middle of the box, and just put it past the keeper, which was a great first goal with the team. And also the first two assists of the season for Barb, which I was kind of surprised by. But yeah, I would say like a lot of the goal production has not been there for a good chunk of the season so far,
I think we
which is
played her up too
disappointing
much. I was trying to call her the MVP this year, the potential MVP for this team. So
already.
yeah, so
Me
maybe
too,
it's like I
naturally.
put her on the matting cover. Shit, I jinxed it. But hopefully, this will be a start of a comeback.
Definitely. And like I said earlier, the team played fairly well in some occasions. It's just I keep going back to consistency. I keep going back to trying to execute what Fabrice wants to do, and it's always a mixed bag with the dash historically. And I'm always optimistic about the Dash whenever they want to improve or just like having a new head coach and a new process and all that. I felt like this game was more of a missed opportunity to keep the wins coming, especially at home, because home has been a pretty bad place for the Dash to play.
Yeah, for real.
and I won 3 points. I wanted Dash to get three consecutive wins, but those are pretty hard to find nowadays.
I mean, you're a Houston Dash fan, so you're not kidding there. But both those goals, if you go back and look at them defensively, it's I think Paige Nielsen is really struggling right now mentally, and it's affecting her game physically or mentally out there as well. The first goal, I'm not sure who's supposed to mark. It looked like she was supposed to mark, and she kind of started to go out, and then the ball was played in, and she had to come back, and Katie Lynn didn't press, so it just left that girl open, and she ended up getting it past Abby Smith in the corner. So uh, a little more communication between the two backs right there, making sure that that player is not open right there in the box like that, which is incredible, just wide open, no pressure, no nothing changed. But then the second goal, Paige Nielsen was the defender who kind of was trying to shield the ball to play it back to the keeper and got bodied and forced off of it. And, as you saw, it led to the goal. At least the person that stole it didn't score, but it's tough for Paige right now for me because I like the way she plays and and the energy she brings and the style of defense that she plays. So I hope she's just getting through what her struggles are, and that's just all it is, and she's going to be okay and become the Paige Nielsen that we believe in and we've talked about, and we're happy to sign for 4 years. So, oh man, it's a struggle, but they were just two defensive mistakes that you shouldn't be having at a professional level to give the opponent those goals and necessarily take 2 points away from you because you end up tying the game. So you could have had a win, even though they looked a lot better. But I don't know, man. How do you feel about was it just you said we played well, just mental mistakes, which the plan's working for Fabrice. If you look at it technically, everything was working, playing the game the way they're supposed to play, but just two big mistakes gives the other opponent two big goals. Abby Smith comes up and makes some big saves in the game as well. But it looks like it was just going well, just mental mistakes, little breakdowns that you got to fix, though, right? I mean, what's going on here with the defense?
And that's been a very bad, at least the most common mistake from the Dash so far. It's just been those lapses where the team just seems disconnected defensively, and teams, especially like the better teams in the league, are just able to capitalize on that. And when it comes to Bay FC, which isn't really a better team than the Dash right now in terms of form, it it's really concerning because like we can just start giving out these type of opportunities for the opponent, and we can really do much about it outside from just like trying to step up in the next opportunity. But these types of situations keep happening, which is very concerning. I do agree with the sentiment for Paige Nielsen. I feel like she's been having like a tough start of the year compared to last year. She's been very solid defensively last year, and this year it just feels like she's been I'd say like a couple steps back in some plays here and there, um, which is disappointing. And I do wish her the best to see if she is able to improve over time. But yeah, I feel like it's just been those lapses when it comes to just falling flat when it matters most, and that's just getting those key plays, recovering the ball, clearing it out, break down the plays defensively, which is what matters the most in this type of situations, especially when you're leading and you're trying to maintain momentum.
Yeah, and it's got to be a struggle whenever you're benched 3 games in a row to for Westfall, and it's not where like a rotation. I mean, she did come in at halftime once, and a late game and late for her as well. But it's it does got to affect you, especially for a player who she went through leaving Angel City to Houston, kind of a surprise, and just having to uproot, and she's enjoying Houston and taking care of her family in Houston now, and then. Yeah. All of a sudden, here she is on the cusp of she's on the bench pretty much. She got to start. got the start, but it just Jesus. Okay. Texas Tech beats Oklahoma, moves on to face Texas in the softball champions. The four-time defending champions are done. All right. Well, anyway, but so
Oklahoma.
yeah, sorry, Oklahoma, you made it. You did the drama by tying it in the seventh inning, but man, that's crazy. First team to reach championship in world debut. Damn. All right, so Texas Tech first time in the World Series, and who do they get to play? The Horns. That'll be fun.
That game's gonna be pretty good.
Starting on Wednesday, best of three. So it's a series, but all right. But let's get focused back to Dash, back to the NWSL, back to our games going on. I'm gonna kind of jumble it up a little bit and move the NWSL standings to the international selections. We had 8 players get selected for international duty, which you're like at first you're like, oh man, crap, this is crazy. But we're on an international weekend, so the Dash don't have a game, so it didn't affect us at all. They get to travel with their national teams, get to play 2 games apiece pretty much. Yeah, I haven't been following them to see what they've been doing because I had a busy weekend in Houston and just trying to keep up with everything. So really didn't keep up with too much what was going on. But Andres, if you have anything you want to throw in at these players, I'm going to name them real quick and then let's just get them out of here. But I'll just name Bachman first because I kind of forgot to put her on the list earlier when I first was writing down what we were going to discuss tonight. But, Bachman, she is still a Houston Dash player. She is on maternity leave, but due to her maternity leave being where she lives, she is able to participate with her in her international duties, which is good. So she is still getting to play soccer. She's still getting to stay fit, which is a good thing. It's the possibility of her return to Houston, which I'm just going to say it out loud is unlikely. I'd be surprised to see her return. Ha ha. Kiki Van Zetten got some time. Duljan got some time, but Evelina Duljan did not get time with the first team. I think it was her U23s that she's still getting time with. So that is exciting to see that she's getting Swedish time. Or, yeah, Swedish, right? I believe she is Swedish, yes. Uh, Ordoñez got called up for Mexico. Cool. Woo-hoo. As you'll see, we don't care later. Sarah Puntgam, the
Yep.
captain of Austria. I know Austria is not much, but sometimes I just like, she's the captain of this national team and we can't even get her on the field for 5 minutes at the end of games. So it's weird, but at the same time, when you think about it, well, she's hasn't done anything spectacular at the same time, but good that she's getting her international duty. Of course, Avery Patterson, with your U.S. women's national team. Yasmin Ryan did not get called up. I don't know if she was still due to injury because she did not play the last 2 games with the Dash. So those could have been the reasons, but A.B. Patterson still called up, and there was a lot of different players called up for this U.S. camp. So coaches is really doing a good job of getting players in an area and looking at these players. Michelle Alozia, and of course your favorite, Barb, all got to participate this weekend in international duty. As we're
Always.
recording, it's a Monday night, so some still have games on Tuesday. Uh, so if you're following or you're listening, you can go check them out. Most of them played 2 games pretty much over the weekend. And then they'll be back, of course, for our Saturday game. But man, international duty, 8 players now. It's kind of exciting in 8 different countries as well, too. For now, it's 8.
I mean, it's incredible just the fact that we have so much talent in this team, and at the same time disappointing because we have so much talent in this team and we're still playing like this. I know this team can always do better. And I did want to say that Barb, apparently she had a decent game. There was no stream for this one, but Venezuela did beat New Zealand 3-1, which is great. And
Woo-hoo.
she didn't score. Unfortunately, I can't really have my own assessment because I wasn't able to watch the game. But I'm always optimistic about Barb, so go Barb.
Hey, starting to come back for the Dash. Starting to come back to the Dash, man. But all right, well, that's international duty. Y'all go check out see what they did. Maybe I can put something together and just kind of get a tweet out there or an Instagram post and just say, hey, what they did, if they did anything, and highlight what they did. Natalie Patterson did anything. She got some good playing time. I have to check everybody else. I know Kiki Van Zetten got some playing time. Puttingham, obviously, she starts and she's the captain, so she's got some playing time. So we'll just have to check out her ratings and shoot like that. But all right, let's move on, man. I'm not going to review the old scores from the weekend. Those were 2 weeks ago. So we're just gonna just kind of want to look at the standings at this point. 10 games into the season of a 26 game season. So we're 10. What is that? We'll just call it 35% of the season over with, something like that. 33% of the season. Not a little less than that.
Close enough.
Yeah, 26, 7, 28, whatever. We get it. 10 games into a 26 friggin' game season. That, as you mentioned, that tie kind of hurt us with BSC. Not kind of hurt us. It hurt us with BSC because with that 3 points, we would have been sitting tied in eighth place with a lot of teams who have 14 points. So technically, we would have been tied in sixth place, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Would have been four teams with 14 points if we could have ended up getting. Oh no, sorry, I'm lying. I already forgetting we added the point for the tie. So 13 points would have put us in ninth and one spot below the playoff line if we could have came out with that win against AFC. But as you know, the use and dash like to break our hearts and keep our hearts begging for blood to flow through it. With the draw maintains its 12th place position. And Bay maintains its 11th place position with 12 points. We have 11 points. Chicago Stars sitting at the bottom with 4 points. Utah Royals with 5 points. So those are the two sitting behind us. We got a nice cushion, so we're going to hold on to 12th place for now. And as we'll hear later on the show, as our preview against the Orlando Pride, we'll probably hold on to 12th place for another week, potentially. But we're optimistic soccer guy and optimistic Foxtrot guy. Uh, Good Kansas City still holding the top. San Diego Wave is second. You know, you're used to hearing Orlando Pride there in second, but Orlando Pride there is in third. They do have 3 losses on the season, 1 win. They got one draw, 6 wins. But you got Marta, you got Banda. It's nuts for Orlando as our next opponent. Everybody now has 2 losses or more in the season. Portland Thorns only with 2 losses sitting in fifth place. So kind of crazy how we were kind of all their injuries, and here they are sitting in fifth place having a kind of a hell of a season. But Andres, anything that stands out with you in the standings, anything you want to point out, any more motivation you want to give the youth and dash to get out of the cellar?
I mean, the only motivation I can give out, and we're kind of used to it every year, it's the season is still early enough that the gap is not like that wide. We still have enough points on the table. Like, even if we get a win, we can still contest for like at least sixth place for now. I'm honestly not concerned with playoffs as of now because we still have to get some wins. But like I said, I feel like I say that every year because the gap is not that wide. But if we don't get those results now, it's gonna get pretty wide and very fast. So, well, yeah, and the next game is not gonna be as optimistic to get us that. Well, whatever happens in that game, we'll see.
Yeah, not at friggin' oh, dude, that's crazy. But your top tier teams, so everybody's kind of mixing up a little bit. KC, San Diego, Orlando, Washington, Portland are what I'm going to consider your top teams. 16 points and more, and then you start with sixth place Seattle Reign, Angel City Racing, all with 14. Gotham, North Carolina, and Bay all with 12. So, I mean, you see the parity there. 3 points separates us from the playoff line. I'd like to be eighth or ninth place and just hovering around that line a little closer. You know, 10th place would be better than 12th place, where I'm hovering around that playoff line, even though it's 10 games into the season. Like as you said, points were still close. So, but it looks better when it says 10 and then 12. So let's just stay close to the playoff line. If we don't make the playoffs and we finish the season 9 or 10, then we can judge it and see if that was good enough season. Control's first season, basically, you know, you see what you did. We'll see how we end the season as well. But, you know, you always say don't dig the hole, right? Don't dig the holes. It's going to be too difficult to get out. So let's just get some points. If we're not going to win them, I guess you got to get the draws, right? But I will let you start. We're going to get into. We are going to Orlando. So the battles of space cities, right? Saturday, 6 o'clock happens to be. I was confused. I thought Dose was at 7:30. Maybe they're at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Either way, you got Dash versus Orlando Saturday, 6 p.m. in Orlando. We have not won since 2020. So, Andreas, Do we have an op? Do we have a chance? I'll just say it. I'll just leave it at that. Do we have a chance?
And in theory, no. Unless some kind of miracle happens, it's gonna be tough for us to even get a point. And I always like to say that the sky's the limit, but if we look at how things stand on surface level, Orlando's just a different beast of a team, and it's gonna take more than a perfect game to get some type of result, especially on the road in Orlando. I guess like the thing it's giving me somewhat, somewhat optimistic, like a really really tiny speck of optimism is just the fact that we're on the road, which I feel like if we just have like a different mentality or just happen to play a perfect game, I feel like we have a sliver of a chance to get something out of Orlando, but I'm being extremely optimistic right now. So, man, it's
I'm with you though. I'm with you. It is against Orlando, and they're no joke. And you haven't been producing enough offense to compete with Orlando's offense, and your defense has been kind of hanging you out to dry here and there. So you can score on Orlando though. That is something that Orlando will give up. So there's opportunity there. It's just gonna probably have to be one of those masterclass games for the Dash to
and
to, to
it's gonna
seal
also
this thing.
it's also gonna come down to how you're gonna lock down Faber Banda and Marta just coming straight at you and ready to tear you apart. Because I've seen plenty of Banda
Yeah.
over the course of the year, and I'm like, if the defense is gonna play like BFC, it, we have to be afraid of not getting or conceding 10 goals here tonight because they're Orlando's just a different beast offensively, and Houston just have to play the perfect defensive game to even have some hope.
I was trying to look at what the betting odds are, and I couldn't find it real quick just because I was gonna say, you got $10, you want to bet $10, and take your just if you just feel like, it's whatever, it's $10, but if you win the game, $10 could be $100 probably. So it's 81% chance win for Orlando, 5% chance draw for the game, and 14% chance win for the Dash. And that's just according to votes right now. So everybody's obviously voting for Orlando. But I was trying to find the Vegas odds, but it's okay. We don't need to try that. We know Orlando's heavy favorite. I was just gonna say maybe take a chance and throw $5, $10 out there. But
FanDuel, oh my goodness. FanDuel has a dash win over Orlando is 700. So I will definitely put $10 there.
plus 700. So
Yes.
so $10 wins you $70, huh? Damn. Whew. That's nice. Hey, you know what? I think I'm with you there. So t- two win. Let's go. We can get us a 1-0 win, a 2-1 win. I'm with you. Come back from international duty and show them up. No, that'd be that
Yep.
would that would be amazing, man. All right, so I'm glad you found that odd. So everybody right there. So if I have to next show, I'll give you my phone number so we can call and talk about gambling anonymous. If we win the game and we start something, if you lose, you probably won't want to gamble again anyway. So there won't be an issue here. So man, but that is preview Orlando. Any other final thoughts you want to talk about on that game real quick? It's I believe it's going to be on NWSL Plus as well. So not Prime, which is good.
Yes.
Which is good, I guess. But like you said, it'll be curious to see who gets to play now. Duzan did get a start last game, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, you got to put Maggie Graham on the bench if you're going to start Duzan because they're kind of playing in the same position. If you've got Sheehan and Colaprico on the field at the same time as well. You could take one of those out, drop Maggie Graham into her natural position, and then put Duljan above her, and then it looks good. But Duljan played a half last game against Bay. I just kind of want to mention her real quick. She finally got the start, so I was excited to see her get that play. Unfortunately, she only did play the 45 minutes, and then coach subbed her out. But could get a start again. Should have Yasmin Ryan back in the lineup, so we'll see who are up top. We do not know who the striker is going to be. It could be Nasai Bryant, it could be Yasmin Ryan, it could be Michelle Alozia, who did get to start last game and played up front with Barb. It's kind of side by side, but obviously Alozia was the one that played higher. So, we'll see. It'll be curious what we do with the lineup. Still curious if Rebecca is going to make it onto the field for some reason. As our last little topic for this is before we move on to the next topic is Rebecca, man. How come you do not think we've seen her get any minutes at all on the pitch? And I think she's been here 4 games now, maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, where's Rebecca? I want to see her play. Come on.
I know she's young. She could be struggling in practice. Obviously, Fabrice is holds practice to a higher standard. You know, Campbell is getting benched for Abby Smith, and basically he said that the person that looks better at practice, that practice better, is the person that's going to start. So, you know, it could be one of those situations. So it'd be nice though to see her get some minutes and see her get out there. But if she's not ready, I guess she's not ready, and then that goes back on us because why'd we bring this player in? So.
Literally.
Yeah, but segue because you got to bring players in, you got to send players out, man. Send players out. And Diana Ordoñez, as we've been kind of basically saying, sound like it's gonna happen. It's the writing was on the friggin' wall. Yeah, personal leave. You're not playing soccer for the dash at all. I mean, so they we did transfer her to I think what was it, Tigres? Yeah,
Tigres, yeah.
yeah, it's a Tigres. Maria Sanchez wants to go back to Tigres instead. It's Diana Ordoñez who gets to Tigres. The transfer fee is undisclosed yet, so we don't know what we're getting for Ordoñez. I would probably think 175 grand is probably what it's going to be. Maybe less than that, probably, but I'm hoping it's 3 figures at least. I don't know what to expect. It's NWSL. It's kind of hard to compare because the numbers are so different from MLS numbers when you're talking transfer fees. But um, I said writings on the wall. Was this obviously not a surprise to you? But how do you feel about Diana Ordonez no longer a Houston dash forward?
Probably the worst kept secret if you've been following the dash. She's been missing for quite a while. I was just like, yeah, she's gone. She's gone to probably Mexico or just another team that needs her services. And I kind of figure there's a good chance we might have gotten a transfer fee that's lower than what we sent out to North Carolina a few years ago. It's just kind of disappointing that he had to end this way, but at the same time, you look at her numbers here and they're not stellar or anything like that. And it could just be based on the service we provided or how she's been played with the head coaches we've had in the past. And kind of sucks for everyone involved. It's good that Deanna's gonna be in a new team with an opportunity, probably an opportunity that she wants to be in. And Dash had they had what they did what they had to do, and that was pretty much transfer out, get some sort of return for her. We don't know the specific amount yet. But we'll see if someone else is able to report on that. But like I said, I feel like it's gonna be lower than what we sent out to North Carolina.
Why don't you send your friend a message real quick and see what he's got to say? Obviously, he hasn't posted nothing on Threads or anything, but I'm sure he'll be the first one to figure it out and let us all know. So, y'all stay tuned. Do you remember what we gave North Carolina to get Ordonez here?
I can't remember, but I can definitely look it up, and I'm gonna take a couple seconds.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, y'all, Deanna Ordonez is out. Comment down in the bottom. Comment down on whatever platform that you checked this video out. are you okay with Ordonez being shipped out? Do you think we could have given her more of an opportunity with these newer players coming in and the offense trying to build up? Or do you think it was really just her time to just to go and have a different scenery and maybe she can find her game there? Because in Houston, it just looked like it just wasn't working and it was tough for her. So Diana Ordonez is out. Now we look.
Okay, so I was actually just exaggerating because so apparently the transfer fee that we sent out to North Carolina was just $100,000 in allocation money and some draft picks. So it's not as
Hmm.
bad. There's definitely a good chance we could have gone a little bit more, but then again, there's no we can't really tell what that transfer fee was.
So we gave 100 and a couple draft picks.
Yes,
All right, so obviously draft picks are not available for Tigres. So if you say we got 100 for a very good rookie that North Carolina wanted to get rid of for some reason, maybe maybe 75 is what we get for her now to Tigres. Maybe it is 100 because the value of the two draft picks has to be added in somehow. So like I said, hopefully we can get to the three figures. So expect 75, 100. So I don't know what to expect. So nothing too much, but add it to the pot of gold that we're going to have to use this summer. Andres, you ready to get to the last segment of the show?
of course.
You know it. You know it. A little more excitement there. No, I'm just kidding. I, it's time to start some rumors. It's time to start some talk. It's time to start the water barrel talk. Not the water barrel talk. What is it called in the office? The water fountain talk.
Water cooler.
Water cooler talk. Yeah, water cooler talk. It's time to start spitting some information out there. See if we can start some mess. See if we can get anybody to just maybe start getting that information out there, and or we might hit one on the nose. We could. I guarantee you, one of these we're going to be way off because I'm going to start high. I'm going to start very high with the first name, but the Dash do need a striker. I think that's the most valuable position that we need to go find right and find immediately. The transfer window does open July 1st and closes August 25th, so you almost have 2 entire months during the window to find your players. You have right now an entire 30 days to scout and decide, chase down who you want, and if it's possible to go get that player and persuade him to come to Houston. As I said, we're going to set the bar very high here. I mean, very high. And I'm, I, I'm optimistic on a couple of them. One, I'm just shooting it out there, and that one's not pretty much going to be impossible. But why not? You never know. So, Andreas, I know you're intrigued. I guess I'll just throw the first name out there, and it's Bunny Shaw, the perfect striker for me, if you ask.
Damn.
It is a huge name. Y'all are hearing it right now. Yes, Manchester City. This season has been a struggle for her pretty much. She's been injured. She's been off and on. That City did go find him another striker that they were using during her absence, and that striker has been doing pretty good. She is no Bunny Shaw, but at the same time, she's is Bunny Shaw is plays for the Jamaican team. Does she want to stay in Europe? Does she want to come to the NWSL or maybe come back to the Western Hemisphere? Is she enjoying her time in Europe? I'm sure she is because she's a star of a player. But 1 year left on her contract as well. So she's got one more season left. So a transfer fee would be needed to pull her in. And then you would just sign her a contract here, which would be friggin' amazing. But as I said, I've started the bar pretty friggin' high. But there's Bunny Shaw, who has been with Man City for the past few years here, obviously, and it's just been a juggernaut of a forward. Is there any chance right here?
I don't think so, but well, man, if Ted Money's here and he's able to make magic happen, it's a slim possibility. Yeah, we could definitely use a massive name like Bunny Shaw in Houston and get some more eyeballs into this team.
Well, that would just be friggin' amazing if that type of striker is obviously what we're looking for since we're setting the bar so high. You bring in the players in. You brought a Yasmin Ryan. You got a Avery Patterson that's growing and developing and becoming a star. I would say you have a Jane Campbell who's a up and coming, going to be here for a while. You're building a solid team, so I think you can convince players to come here to Houston. Now, granted, the weather's going to be different. It rains in England. It burns in Houston, but she is from Jamaica, so the weather will not be an issue, even though that's a little more coastal. So, but hey, I'm sure she's used to it, and she plays soccer, so she's out there sweating her ass off already as it is. But that would be my dream. Would be a Bunny Shaw. That's my dream. I would love it. I'm obviously a Man City, not obviously. I am a Man City fan. I've been watching the guys, I've been watching the girls, and a little bit of the academy as well. So that would be nice for me. But like I said, I shot in the dark, way, way, way high. But 1 year left on her contract, going through some injuries. So maybe she ready to get out there and come to the west side. But hey, like I said, that's a uh, number two, number two player is Marie Antoinette Katoto. How do you say her last name? Katato?
Got todo, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher it just because she's such a friggin' amazing player and the type of forward that she is, lengthy, just pacey, brilliant, plays for PSG currently right now. She has announced that she will not be continuing with PSG and will be leaving the team. Her contract's over. So now we can stir this pot. She's out there. She's available. Don't know anything about where she wants to go. Probably could dig deep and start reading a bit on the internet and probably finding something and seeing what is she saying? What are reporters getting out of her? But this would be another prototypical player. But again, I said we're setting the bar high, so we're throwing names out there that are very high bars. I want to see Ted. I want to see Tim Howard. Uh, and Angela, we know Angela can do it. So the opportunity's there. The Dash can bring in players. Now, can we go out and convince them to come? But as I said, Marie Antoinette, Katoto, but man, what do you think? What do you think of this player? Is there a possibility as well for this one?
I haven't been studying her as much as other players, but I do know that she's been very sought after. And I mean, if it's a bigger name, I mean, I feel like we just would do like a lot of damage, especially with the dash. So if it ever happens, I'm definitely gonna look forward to starting her.
Yeah, looking forward to starting her immediately. Day number one. As soon as she gets here, I wouldn't even warm her up. And now I can't even find her. That's what's nuts when I'm sitting here on foot mob. Of course you can't find her. There she goes. So yeah, what is she is the last two, no, 3 years, right? Three. Oh, sorry. So since 2011, so she's been there quite a while, right? She's 26 years old, so I think she just kind of came up through the system. She is French, so that one might be a little bit harder to get her to persuade to come over here, but to NWSL. But the NWSL is a nice league, an up and coming league. It is a league that competes. So what does she want to do? She is a French player leaving her French team. So maybe that's what I'm going to do tomorrow at work when I'm sitting there bored waiting for trucks to show up. Is just search the internet and see if there's any leak, any news to what she's doing. But she is a striker and she's played 19 matches, 16 starts, 12 goals, 1,300 minutes played this year. She's a national team player as well for the French. She scored 37 goals in 52 games for the French. She scored 168 goals in 206 games for her.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and then I think that's since 2011, but still that average, that number right there, 168 to 206, man. So that's just nuts, man. She's born in 1998, like I said. She wears the number 99, the number 9, sorry. She is a right-footed friggin' striker, and she is a friggin' amazing. So that one has a little more potential. I didn't give you all a Buddy Shaw stats because that one's just kind of a dream. pipe dream that I just kind of threw it out there. But I think this one, if we could get enough rumor out there, then maybe we can get some headway into people start just asking for it. And then maybe you never know, maybe the name pops up on Angela's desk and we started the best rumor in the world, right? Then you have another player,
Yes.
right?
Yes. It's time.
Are you ready for her? I don't even know how to spell her friggin' name anymore.
I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah. Well then, Catherine, or we'll call her Cat Mauricio. Yes, that name, Cat Mauricio. And I think a lot of people would love for her to be here. I think there's a lot of reason for her to be here as well. She is a
Cat
Chelsea
Macario,
player.
right?
Yeah, Macario, Cat Macario.
Cat Macario, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I got the M and the R backwards right here for some reason.
Yeah, just making sure, but yeah.
Yeah,
We got you.
Cat Macario, obviously of Chelsea, who has been struggling to get some real playing time as of recent. She is a U.S. women's national team player. She just played over the weekend for the U.S. women's national team, and she will probably play again tomorrow on Tuesday again. And she's scoring. She's scoring for the national team. If you remember back in February or March or whatever it is when the national team came to Houston, she scored a goal there from an assist from Yasmin Ryan. That Cat Macario, that's who we're talking about. She also has 1 year left on her contract at Chelsea. So it's a player where her former coach is the U.S. women's national team head coach and it's probably telling her it'd be nice if you were here in the States and closer to your camp. I want you here more often. Get her to Houston, right? Andres, did we start this one for real,
Yes,
for real?
I am in the Cat Macario agenda from day one. And this is the type of player that the Dash will have massive success at if they know what they're doing. And I do trust that Fabrice is able to fully take advantage of her strengths and just being able to play the ball almost in any situation based on all the games I've seen. Cat Macario is just fearless, and I would definitely love her to see play for Houston. I mean, you can even convince her to get some more playing time to get ready for the World Cup in 2 years from now. So
Mm-hmm.
it will definitely be a good argument. And Angela, if you're listening to this podcast, I hope you're on the same train of thought. But yeah, like I mean, it's
And put her
if you
with
can make it
Patterson and
happen.
Ryan too. You'll have a
Yeah,
tripod right there, an attacking tripod of U.S. women's national team players on the team, and we'd still like to add Jane Campbell into that discussion. But come on, look at that, and that'd just be a core piece to the Houston Dash, right?
and the Warsaw crowd is gonna watch the Dash too because of Cat and also Jane Campbell to an extent. But I mean, Cat Macario still she hasn't even reached her prime, and like you said earlier, she hasn't been playing a lot of games, and I feel like she's just been able to take advantage of that in NWSL to get way more playing time that she's getting right now, and probably after the World Cup, we're just able to like get a return for her. So it's a win-win. So it's incredible. It will be incredible.
18 matches, 8 games started, 6 goals and 3 assists for Chelsea this season. So as you see, 18 games, 8 starts. 2 of those starts in the last 7 games, and one of those games she didn't even get minutes in at all. So I don't know what's going on here towards the end of the season right here, but it's looking like her struggling to get minutes. She's only played 90 minutes once. That was April 23rd. I'd have to go back even further to see even more to so uh, maybe it could be something that piques her interest, and I would think would have to. Come to the U.S., closer to your U.S. camp. You're trying to become a formidable piece on the U.S. women's national team. I mean, since you've been in Chelsea and since 2023, you scored 13 goals in 47 matches. So, you were injured there as well, but they're probably just what they got her from Lyon. It was 29 goals in 45 matches, so they're getting less less production from her. Again, like I said, she did get injured there for a while, and it was a long while actually. So it was a big return for her most recently at the She Believes Cup. But Kat Macario, that's somebody who I think we could just fly off the wall with. It would, like you said, bring butts. Tim Howard, I know you got a direct line. Angela,
Tim
like,
Howard, come on,
yeah.
do something.
We're gonna have to start tagging names and just feed it. So whether that this name drops on their
There
desk or
is
not,
no Premier League season. He's not busy. He's not doing anything. He has to
oh
do
yeah,
this.
yeah, he's chilling. That's right. I haven't seen no Instagram highlights of him, so we'll have to jump on his podcast too and let him know that he needs to get to work with Cat Macario. So y'all, I gave y'all three names. We started high, started very, very high. I think we have a month till the, I don't think, sorry, we have a month till the window opens. So Andreas, I think we need to challenge ourselves for the rest of this month to look at more names and try to dig deep and see if we can, get a little secret sauce out there. But I think for us, I think we need to look for some more names, some more forwards, see who are potential with contracts ending or free agents or who are available, or just a name that would just make sense for the use and dash, and then see what we could do, see what we could create, see if we can get something out there. And then when it does happen, be like, bro, we were talking about it. We were talking about it. See, I should have been listening. But I don't know, man. I'm interested. Um, we are setting high hopes right there, even though the history of the Dash is a little bit different. But like you said, you mentioned Ted, you mentioned Angela, Tim Howard. This is a different ownership, and I think we have a different idea on what we can do and what's available to bring here to Houston. And I think Stars is available to the Houston Dash, and there shouldn't be anything standing in their way. So money should be there. Anything should be there. If this player wants to come to Houston or that player accepts your phone call, do whatever you got to do to make it happen. If those names are one of the names that we're mentioning over this next month, let's just start with Katarina. Let's go for Katarina. Big, 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 big. I mean, big. I wouldn't mind the PSG girl. I don't want to butcher her name, so I'll just call her Marie Antoinette. I wouldn't mind her either. She's free right now, so that there is a possibility that she could be coming across and getting ready to play, but who knows? So I just got to play Google search and see if we can find something on the internet and see if she's kind of hinted at anything or see if someone's trying to start hints like we are so we can maybe get somebody to correct us and be like, that person decided to do this or that person wants to do this. That person's husband is searching for houses in this city. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do. Stir the pot.
Not stalking or anything. Yeah, just stir
Yeah,
the pot.
yeah. See what we could do. So, Andres, I listed three players right there. I think, yeah, I think we got some work to do to find some more players. Anything else you want to say on those three players? Is anybody else you want to mention real quick while we're here in this section? And then after that, I think we're done with this show. We'll let people sit on those hopes and dreams right now is what we'll call them until the pot boils.
Yeah, I was only thinking about Cat Macario after Diana Ordoñez left because if anything this team needs right now is just a facelift, just some fresh faces. When I say fresh faces, definitely star power. That's just gonna put this team on the map to an extent. And like I said earlier, is what also crowd's gonna see the dash games here and there, and we could be put on the map for some more players on the road. So it's something to look forward to, and I hope that's the case. So the ownership can just put like some more investment into this team because this team needs some stars, and it's about time.
All right, guys. Well, that's the dash targets that we're stirring the pot. We want to see if we can get some interest stirring out there, some rumors started, maybe somebody starting rumors because we started rumors, whatever, how it is, whatever we gotta do to get it to work. But like I said, y'all comment below here on YouTube if you're watching, or Spotify, or Apple Music, or if you're on Twitter, and if you're on the Instagram IG post, if you're on either one of our Twitters, by the way, you have the Noodle TPO main Twitter post that kind of posts a little bit of little things in this. You have Andreas's personal account, the Dynamic. Well, I guess it's not the Dynamic Fox, or is it? Am I just throwing the in there?
Dynamic Foxtrot. Yeah,
Did
yeah,
I?
it's
Yeah.
Dynamic Foxtrot.
Damn. All right. Well, you are the Dynamic Foxtrot at Dynamic Foxtrot. So, yeah, y'all can follow both accounts if y'all don't mind. And then Andreas, you want to, you know, take them through any other socials. We YouTube TV, we finally hit 300 subs. So if y'all were one of them, I know a couple of y'all listeners were one of a couple of y'all that added on there at the end is that push. So we'll make sure to actually, you know what? I won't break it. I'll let Andreas talk about the 300 subs and what we're going to try to do for the fans in the near future here. And then if you'll throw out our socials and then we'll get these people out of here as we're probably about 45 minutes into this show right now.
Yeah, and you said it yourself earlier. A Dynamic Foxtrot is gonna be the handles on X, Blue Sky, Instagram. We also have a separate handle called Little Tiempo on X, which just try to make sure that you guys are all covered when it comes to Dash, Dynamo, Dose, anything under the sun, and whatever you're watching us or listening to us, YouTube is gonna be the best place to catch all of our content on video, and that's gonna be Foxtrot TV on YouTube, and also Goals.tv, which is also a good place to look at other soccer content creators like us, covering different teams, different leagues around the world. So I definitely recommend that if you haven't checked it out already. That's gonna be goals.tv/@dynamicfoxtrot. That is spelled with a Z towards the end, goals.tv. And OSG also said it. We do always appreciate you guys, especially after going past 300 subscribers on YouTube. We did promise some giveaways. We're working on those. I might have dropped my giveaway item in the last episode of Noodle Time. I don't know. You're gonna have to check it out, but there's gonna be a few surprises coming from all of us. So just have to keep an eye on our socials. We might drop a giveaway very soon. I don't know. I might know. I don't know, but but yeah, we do this because we are passionate about this as always, and we love sharing our passion to you guys. And we just want to give thanks as well for just supporting us for this past few years and however many years it's gonna take for us.
Yeah, and you got Mark from Noodle Time as well. That's going to be putting some items out there. So there'll be some interesting items there for y'all to find. We'll see if we can grab some tickets to throw into the giveaway as well for future Dynamo games or future Dash games as well. Dose is free, so we encourage y'all to go to Dose. If I need to give you free tickets to get you to go, I'll give you free tickets. So maybe we'll give away free tickets as well in the giveaway. It's like put them in your SeatGeek and then you'll go because they're there. You don't want to waste them. But man, I think
Yes,
we're towards the end of tonight's show. I like how we ended it. We brought up some names. We're gonna get people thinking. Hopefully, we'll see if we can get other people talking about it as well. I'll make a couple of post some videos of them playing soccer and saying, "Let's go Dash." But Andreas, man, I think that's it for tonight. You've given our socials out, guys. You know where to find us. Comment and any of those, whichever ones, about things that we talked about tonight. I want to see if you agree with us on any of these players, if you're excited about them, or if you just think we're just losing our minds right now. You know. And then there was another question I asked y'all earlier in the show. Oh yeah, what y'all think about Ordoñez? Are you okay with it? Do you agree with it? Or we'll see how much money we get, but comment down below. Andres, this is the Dash Dispatch. We're going to have a new episode coming out next week after we face Orlando. So hopefully that'll be a good one, but we'll break it down and we'll dissect it. But looking forward to moving on and bringing the season up to a high note. So you never know. With 2 weeks of practice against Orlando with our international players, so I'm optimistic, man. I'm optimistic. But want to say bye to anybody else before we get throw those H's up and get out of here?
yes, sir. Hey guys, go beyond always.
H's up. See y'all.